Today we are located on 6 nations of the Grand River. I would like to acknowledge that the land on which we gather is situated upon traditional territories of the Neutral, Huron, Wyandot, the Haudenosaunee, and later some of the Anishinaabe Nations from the north. These lands are the 1701 treaty lands of the 6 nations, referred to as their Beaver Hunting Grounds. The territory is also covered by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Belt Covenant, an agreement between the Haudenosaunee Iroquois Confederacy, the Anishinaabe, and other allied nations to peaceably share and care for the resources around the Great Lakes. A portion of this land is further subject to the 1784 Haldimand Treaty. Today, this remains the home to many Indigenous people from across Turtle Island, and we are grateful to have the opportunity to work in their community and to share and respect Mother Earth. My name is Crystal Campbell. I'm the Community Energy Champion with 6 Nations of the Grand River. I am a graduate of the Indigenous Clean Energy's 2020 Catalyst program.
Hi, Crystal. So
Hi,
nice to
Mary.
see you.
Thanks for coming today.
Oh, thank you for having me. And you know I like talking about AVs.
Oh, yes, I know.
So let's get to it.
Okay.
Crystal, with me I brought today the Hyundai Ioniq 5. This is their 2nd generation car. Come on in, we'll go for a ride.
Okay. Up here in this location over here, this is where we're planning to put a level 3 DC fast charger.
You're saying that here in these spaces right here?
Yep.
Oh, that's great. And 100 kilowatt actually is pretty good. That's the fast chargers, and anybody who plugs into them will get at least 250 kilowatts per hour.
Yep.
And that's a very good speed. And I can tell you the community really enjoy having the chargers there, but also the travelers.
Yep.
Fast chargers are few and far in between. Therefore, having it here in a very good location because you have the main road, it'll be wonderful and people will definitely use it.
Yep, that's what I'm hoping for.
That's the main road, correct? So it's close to a main road. You have all these amenities here. It also can be a destination charger. So if somebody comes to the store for something, they can plug in for a few minutes. Being a fast charger, then that is going to take a couple of minutes to have enough charge to go home or a top up. Usually that's what people do when they're traveling. But definitely it's going to help the community feel that they have something that they actually can come and charge if they don't have the ability to charge at home. So all the fast chargers, if there's multiple ones, there'll be one of this. This is the Chatamo. The Chatamo is, as you can see, round, and only the 2 connectors are going to be supplying the power. Because it's direct current, you only need one for the current to go in and the other one to come out. So this is level 2 and level 1 connector, but you notice this here says pull. So once you pull that off, now it matches this. And you hear that click? If you don't hear that click, it means it hasn't connected. And if it hasn't connected, the lights here will change to a different color. As you can see, the top row, it is empty. And you see the other one's highlighted, means that that's how much power the car has. When you plug it in and ready to leave, you lock your car. When you lock your car, it locks in place. So nobody can come and take it out. So you come back, you unlock the car, and then you can unlock this. But as far as safety is concerned, the chargers have to be installed, of course, by a certified electrician. It doesn't matter if it's done here in the public or at home. The Electric Safety Authority are the people who basically guide and certify the electricians. They will pull a certificate from them or a permit, and they'll come and inspect to make sure everything is done according to the code that they've got. For the home, the same thing. You need an electrician. Anybody who touches the panel better be a certified electrician. And you get more information on their website, which is at esasafe.com. And there you'll be able to have all sorts of information and guidance on how to find an electrician in your community and who is certified to do the job. The cars also have the ability for you to set a time that you're going to be leaving. If you do that, they'll finish charging at that time. And of course, the best time to charge is at night when you're asleep and I'm asleep and the car is in the garage or in the driveway. And of course, the price of electricity is so low at that time. The power, how much power this car has, which is about 77 kilowatt hours, and the 7.4 cents a kilowatt hour that we pay at night, if you had taxes and distribution, let's say 10 cents. So with that in mind, it's going to cost you $7.70 to fill up this car, and it's going to go close to 500 kilometers. Wow. So how much gas can you buy, and how far can you go? Let's pop the hood of the Ioniq 5 and see how different it is from a regular gas car. So we have a bit of a storage here. There is a 12-volt battery down here, and we have some liquid storage containers, and those are the glycol containers that contain the coolant for the battery. The next thing is the windshield wiper fluid bottle, and that's the only thing that you can touch. As you can see, all the other things that are here indicate that the mechanic has to be able to maintain the car. We cannot do any maintenance ourselves. There is some high voltage wiring. Anything with the orange color on it, it is high voltage wiring. As you can see in this car, because it's a long range, it has extra batteries, and this is part of the battery pack. There's a motor underneath here that nobody can see, but it's there. So Crystal, we visited the place where your level 3 charge is going to be, and we talked a bit about the level 3 connectors that we have there. So here they actually are, again, the level 3 CHAdeMO connector and the level 3 CCS connector. The other thing that we didn't talk about there was, what do you do at home? What kind of connector do you need for the house? So the connector for the house that you need is the J1772, and it looks exactly like this. They've standardized this for all the car manufacturers, except of course for Tesla. So this is Tesla's. And the same connector, size of connector, goes into all levels 1, 2, or 3. They do not change. But for everybody else, they do change. So where this connector is plugged at this end denotes if it's a level 1 or level 2. So level 1 is the plug on the wall, like everybody has, where you plug in your toaster or anything else. And that'll give you only 8 kilometers for every hour you plugged in. That's too slow. So for the level 2 is the same connector, but this plugs into a different connector, and that'll be the same as your stove or your dryer. And with that, you need about 240 amps, 40 amps breaker at your panel. And of course, the charger that this is connected to, they come in a variety of shapes and sizes. The only thing that we recommend is that when you're looking for a charger, that you make sure that it is certified under the Underwriters Laboratory or the Canadian Safety Standards. Now, where do you install it and where you want? Some of the chargers are specific for indoors, like in a garage, and others will say both indoors and outdoors. There are several companies out there that make them. Price range anywhere between $300 and up, depending what other things that the chargers do. So the two types that you've got are, one is a smart one because it has Wi-Fi ability, and that'll come with an app that you can have on your computer or your phone. And you can check how much energy the car is pulling at any one time. The other ones don't have that ability, and that's fine with me. I just want to plug it in and let go, because the cars also can do the same thing. You can tell the car when to start charging, when to stop charging.
Can you tell me about some of the myths around electric vehicles that you've heard of?
basically people think that there's not much range in the cars. They can't go anywhere with them. Well, actually, the new cars right now range anywhere between the smallest one, which is the Mini, that goes about 180 kilometers to the charge, all the way to the Model S that goes 600 kilometers to the charge. But do you really need that much of range? What is your day-to-day need? Do you need to travel long distance, or do you travel very close by? The other thing is, where do you find the chargers? There's no infrastructure out there whatsoever. You can't go very far. Well, actually, there's a lot of infrastructure out there. There's several applications, phone apps that you can check. One of them is a Charge Hub. It's a Canadian company that will show you where the chargers are. It's going to show you what's in the vicinity. It's going to show you where they are, the amount you're going to have to pay for it if they're for pay. But there's a lot of them out there that are actually free, especially if you go around the city halls of small towns, or sometimes the whole city hall will decide that the whole town is going to be free of charge. By having those chargers around the city or around the town, that makes a lot of people think that, okay, I have the infrastructure. Even if I can't charge where I live, I have somewhere to go. Traveling on the road, long distances, more and more chargers are coming online, for instance, like yours, for instance. Yeah. But all the 20 or the 24 en routes in Ontario are actually electrified. And you can find the 3 different level 3 chargers at those locations. Other myths that we hear about, the cars are no good in the winter. Actually, they're very good in the winter. Although they have a bit of limitation, more newer technology, newer cars, new generations of cars and batteries, we're learning a lot. The other myth is if you use your air conditioner or your heater, you're not going to have any energy left. Actually, you do have a lot of energy left. In the summertime, for the air conditioning purposes, the same system that cools the battery cools the cabin as well. So that energy is going to be used anyways. Therefore, your cabin will be cool and you'll be cooled. In the wintertime, all the new cars since 2021 have heat pumps, and they're using the heat that is generated from the battery, from the system itself, which means it doesn't require a lot of energy from the battery. Therefore, your range is still increased. The other question that we receive is, are the cars safe in rain? Well, they're very safe in the rain. And yes, you can connect them to charge them in the rain, in the snow. That is already proven. It's a proven technology. There's not much of an issue there.
Where do you see electrification going with transportation?
We're in the beginning of electrification, and we've started with the cars. However, there is plenty of examples where people have electrified other vehicles.
Mary, thank you for joining me today to talk about electric vehicles and charging stations. We're excited to have a level 3 charger installed here at Six Nations of the Grand River and to be a part of this exciting transition.
It was my pleasure. Thank you for having me.